All right, it is another edition of the On the Mic podcast. And as always, I am Mike Pendleton here with mixedmartialarts.com. We coming off a major Bellator 258 event. Title changed hands, but now Bellator 259 is around the corner. And that means you guys are going to be welcomed to the Davion Franklin show. I mean, here's a guy who, if you haven't heard of him already, you will at Bellator 259. Davion, how are you, sir?
I'm good, bro. Living, you know?
Yeah, and there's plenty that I want to talk to you about. Super excited to see you. I believe I'll be in the building for your fight. But wanted to talk so many things, man. You have so much potential and a lot of push. You're right behind you, a lot of support behind you. So young in your career, how are you handling that in terms of not pressure to make a statement every single fight, but man, you're a guy that nobody wants to call out. Not everybody's signing up to fight you. And you're so young. How do you handle that?
I feel that, like, you know what, like this is my calling, and I think that I don't know. I feel like since I'm young in my career, but maybe like since no one wants to call me out, a lot of people don't want to fight me. That means I just need to fight higher level competition.
Yeah, and I think Bellator's got you right there on the cusp of pretty much handing you everything that you earn, right? Like sometimes you see young fighters, they're kind of babysat, not in Bellator, but everywhere in this sport. You know, there's some young talented fighters like yourself who will get babysat early on in their career, get easy fights. But man, in your division, like there is no easy fight. One punch can change it all. And you know, for the problem is people got to hit you and they got to withstand your hits and your dominance. And you know, no one has been able to do that so far. You're down in Albuquerque at JacksonWink, home of some of the greatest fighters of all time. I want to start there. You know, being in a room with so many legends, obviously Jon Jones being the biggest name there, but you know, that's a guy you go toe to toe with in the practice room, in the war room. What's it like having that gym, that team, you know, by your side in the gym?
Man, it's incredible. I feel safe here. I feel like this is like the A team, the A squad. You know what I mean? I feel like JacksonWink is like the powerhouse of MMA, and I feel like I'm one of the new guys who's kind of becoming one of the front runners of this team. So, you know, it feels really good, actually.
What's it like to have a guy like Bones Jones in the training room with you? You know, I think a lot of times there could be fighters at a gym and they see the big names or the former champions or the current champions, and maybe the younger guys and girls don't get to run as much practice time with them or spar with them at all. But you know, you're one of the main guys in there for the bigger guys at JacksonWink. So what is it like being able to work and perfect your craft alongside a guy like Jon Jones?
Man, it's great because I'm an oyster, and I feel like I learned a whole lot from Jon. So Jon, like the last time, a couple weeks ago, I got to do jiu-jitsu with Jon, and he did pretty good at controlling me, but I wouldn't let him tap me out. But Jon is he's so technical, like he's a genius, and I just think that, like, man, if I could just you get the rub going with guys like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of like, the more you go with someone like that, the better you get because he's so great. You know, and I think that I'm sorry. But you get the rub going against you can't get the rub going against so oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. Like but that's all I was gonna say. Like, basically, the more you go with someone like Jon Jones, the better you get.
Yeah, and I think we see that throughout all sports. You know, I see you rocking the Chicago White Sox hat. You know, you hear it all throughout, you know, major sports. You know, younger athletes who get to touch and be around greatness, you know, in practice or in training, that greatness starts to kind of rub off. And like you said, man, it's something that you can really learn from. But not to make this as I'm not talking to Davion Franklin, the training partner of Jon Jones. I'm talking to Davion Franklin about him and his career and his upcoming fight at Bellator 259. but wouldn't you say having this, kind of bond in the training room that you have makes you even scarier for future opponents? Because like you said, if I could just take a little of stuff from Jon and apply it to myself, man, I feel like who can stop you?
Man, like I've already just even being in this gym and knowing that like the Jon Jones, like the pound for pound greatest right now. I mean, that's a title that I want to have. And I just feel like me and Jon Jones, our styles are so different. Like I just feel like I'm writing my own path. Like I'm writing my own story as we speak with every fight. Jon started off pro too, right? He didn't have any amateurs fight, right? He didn't have any amateurs fights, right? Neither did I. You know what I mean? All my competition is like, I started off having good competition in Bellator. So I just feel like I'm writing my own story. And I just feel like, just being here, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. Because like I said, I want to be the greatest heavyweight of all time. I mean, the greatest fighter of all time is objective. I hope so, man. Like, I just got to keep proving myself. And I want to stay undefeated my whole career. So I know I have to work hard. I mean, there's so many great talented people in this gym. So I know, like, I got to see, like, when I first came to JacksonWink, I got to see Diego Sanchez, the first person, Diego Sanchez, get ready for his camp. So I got to know, like, what it's like to go through a training camp. You know what I'm saying? I got to see that firsthand with him and seeing, like, how he trains, like, the things he does for his camps, the things you have to do to get ready for a fight. And I just don't think a lot of guys have that. Because, like, a lot of guys, even in Bellator, are trying to come to JacksonWink to see, like, get the secrets of how, like, a lot of these guys are so successful.
Yeah, and not to make it about Jon anymore, but to ask simply just about Albuquerque, when you have such masterminds in that gym that you have, obviously Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn, and you see the biggest names that they have, but then they put so much time and attention and focus on you and your fight. And, Christian Edwards is another one. What does that mean to you moving forward in your career when you're like, oh, I know I've got these names on my team and in my gym, but my coaches treat me with the same respect? Like there's no gap there.
Oh man, it just makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, because I feel like a lot of guys don't have that. So I know, like, I'm like, I'm kind of blessed to be in the position that I'm in. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I know, like, I also know what I bring to the table. So I understand. Like, if I seen like someone who was like me, or like Christian Edwards, you know what I mean? Or like a Jon Jones, or one of those kind of, like, someone like that, someone who you knew just like they had something that bring to the table, I want to work with them too, So I just, I'm definitely like extremely thankful and blessed to be in this spot that I'm in, for sure.
Well, you kind of just talked about, what you're capable of, what you bring to the table, man. And you kind of, without saying it, you kind of call for higher competition moving forward. I mean, you have a good fight here coming up at Bellator 259, but man, tell everyone, like, what is it that you bring to the table? Because I know firsthand, man, just by watching you and following your career, just on physique alone, people don't want to fight you. I've seen it, I've heard it, I've read it, right? So outside of that, because we know the sport of mixed martial arts, it's not about how you look, it's how you perform inside the cage. And you fit both roles, man. I wouldn't want to ever cross Davion Franklin, but now I definitely don't want to meet him in a cage. So for you, man, what is it that Bellator and everyone needs to know about what you bring to the table?
I mean, to be honest with you, I bring a different level of intensity that scares like a lot of guys away. I'm also very, very cerebral, like like, it's a competition, I get it, but like I just feel like when I'm in there, it's like, I hate to say it, but it's just like, bro, I'm a little evil, a little bit. I'm cerebral. Like, I'm not. This is not a game. Yeah, well, like, I'm not. I'm here. I'm there to inflict pain. You know what I mean? I'm there to bring the pain. And I feel like a lot of guys, they just want to. It's a dog fight. It's not. For me, it's not a dog fight. You know what I mean? I'm sure one day, I'm sure there's gonna be some guy who's gonna be, tough. I mean, there's tough guys everywhere, but my intentions are not just to win. My intentions are to make you feel me, to make the people feel me, to be seen, to know, like, yo, this guy's fucking serious. This guy's not like anybody we've ever seen in the sport. And once that happens, then you guys to see more, and it just everything would continue to unravel. But I'm so cerebral that like, and I know it, and I know I'm dangerous. So I just think like, as long as like I know that, all these fights are gonna end with people getting, not all these fights, but a lot of these fights are gonna end with finishes or people getting put in ambulances and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be cocky at all. I'm just
dude.
telling you the truth.
Honestly, one, this sport needs more of that, a confidence that doesn't come off cocky, but the results are in the cage. I mean, there's no denying it. But I would ask you now, moving forward with this cerebral mindset, as you said, you know, you call for a higher level of competition. When eventually, when you do get that, you're gonna want to continue that cerebralness, that violent side of you. But for me, just talking to you, it seems like you kind of carry this no prisoners left behind. It doesn't matter if it's someone you feel is below you, right matched equal with you, or higher competition. You're looking to be cerebral no matter who your opponent is.
Absolutely, because if they could, they would do the same thing to me.
Now,
if someone could slam me on my head and beat my face into the ground, they would do it. You know that. And they'll
absolutely
love it. They'll bask in it. They'll be happy that they did it, you know?
Well, and I think that's something that Bellator and the fans need to watch. And I think a great opportunity here, your take on Tyler King and does 259. But when you look at the state of where you are so early in your career, I'll ask this before I get into like the future. What's it like just jumping into your career with Bellator, with JacksonWink behind you, kind of everything coming together all as one, and getting the support not only from your team, but from the promotion as well. And they're really trying to push you to the center stage.
Yeah, man. Again, it lets me know that I'm doing the right things in my life. Like, you know, like nothing else felt as right as this feels. You know, like people say, oh, you're a fighter. Why do you want to get punched in the face? Because I'm good at it. I don't get punched. I do the punching. You know what I mean? Like I said in one of my other interviews, like, I got into MMA because I thought I wanted to be good. I mean, I thought I'd be good at it. But when I got into MMA, I knew that I was good at it, but my motive changed. I don't want to be good. I want to be great. So, like, you know, that's my mindset, man, honestly, and my thoughts on everything.
Where do you see yourself at this stage of your career early on compared to some of the greatest heavyweights, or just compared to some of the greatest fighters we've ever seen? You know, you say you want to be the greatest heavyweight of all time. You want to go undefeated. And I'm not saying that that's impossible, but you would set a pace and a career that no one has ever had before. So when you look at your young career and compare it to some of the greatest of all time, how do you see yourself stacking up?
I think the key is to stay hungry and always want it. You know what I mean? And know, like, to push beyond your limits. And how I see myself compared to like the greatest of all time, I feel like, man, I still have to prove myself. I feel like I haven't proven myself yet, but that day's gonna come. And I feel like it's coming soon where I'm gonna prove myself against one of these top guys here who's ranked, and I'm gonna like do them dirty like I do everybody dirty. You know what I mean? And I think like I just gotta keep proving myself. I feel like people haven't seen enough of me yet. Nobody knows who I am yet. So I'm still flying under the radar, but that's okay. That's okay. I look forward to proving myself.
I absolutely love your mindset. I think I know the answer. It's just one word, and it's violence. But what should we expect from you at Bellator 259? You could say violence if I took the answer.
I don't want to say violence, man. Truthfully, man, I think I don't want to say one word. I just think that, like, I feel that, like, people are just gonna see like a heavyweight who like that they've never seen before. Like, they're gonna see like something they've never seen before in a heavyweight, you know. And maybe even in a fighter, I just feel like my confidence is so high in this fight. And just going forward, I feel like just me going through the quarantine and my fight being pushed back, and, you know, me not really fighting up until like now, which is like almost halfway through the year. Like, that just kind of made my hunger insatiable. Like, I'm so hungry for this. And I just feel like, man, I'm just looking forward to dominating this guy, honestly, you know.
Well, Well, they're serving it on a platter for you, and I can't wait to see you get in there and eat. We've seen a lot of fighters who get their first opportunity after this COVID pandemic to step inside the cage and fight. Sometimes it brings out relentless performances, and I'm almost scared if I'm in the building to see what that brings out of you, to see you finally step in the cage after a layoff like that.
Yeah,
but,
man, they can't. I want them, like, after this fight, they should want me to fight much more than 3 times a year. That's what I want. That's what I want to prove this fight. I want to prove that I should be the top of the top. I should be fighting every chance I get, at every opportunity I get. So that's what I want to prove.
As long as there's an opponent willing to sign on the dotted line, I'm sure we can. Hopefully, we make that happen.
Well, nobody in the top 10, they have to fight me. Everybody in the top 10, they can't say no to fighting me. They can't say no. You know.
Right. That's actually what I was going to ask you now, because now you're coming back into competition and there's a ranking system now, right? So now there's the people below you, right? They're below you, and then the people above you, they can't run for long.
They can't run for me.
There's a number next to your name now. So how do you use that moving forward?
So a guy like the guy who put out in December, a guy like him could say, like, you know what, I don't want to fight this guy. But a guy who's ranked, they can't be like, oh, I can't fight this guy. All right, if you can't fight this guy, move out the way. Let this guy take your number. Let this guy keep climbing up the ladder to win the championship. So everybody, they're gonna have to see me. You've seen my Instagram bio. I'm inevitable to these guys. They're all gonna have to see me. And like I said, I'm 2-0, so it probably sounds a little crazy right now, but it's not that crazy. It's not.
It's really not. Like I said, I think you're in the perfect place with your team, your coaches, and with Bellator to rise quickly and swiftly through, and strongly through the division and really through Bellator. I think Bellator is a perfect promotion that gives the opportunity to guys like yourself, guys and girls like yourself, to early on in their career shine. I think other promotions, they want you to be in your late 20s, early 30s, 20 fights deep into your career before they give you a spotlight. I think rightfully so. You've earned it, and I'm excited to see how this
I'm still earning.
Yeah.
Earning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
With that being said, man, we have this vacant heavyweight title announced, and I don't want to talk too far ahead, but
it's vacant. I thought Ryan Bader was the champion.
Yep. There's an interim. I messed up on that. An interim heavyweight title. But how do you eye that though? Obviously, Bader's still champion. They'll have to have a unification. But if you want to fight, if you're saying that, make me fight more than 3 times a year, Davion, the rankings don't lie. If you continue to do what you do, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, how quickly you think you could be chomping at the bit for a title shot?
Listen. If they give me a title shot while I'm 27, because I'm 26. I'm 26. If they give me a title shot like while I'm 27, man, I'm gonna go on a fucking run. I'm just gonna say that. And I just feel like I'm the youngest heavyweight in this division, but I have yet, even in this gym, I have yet to find a heavyweight who's more explosive than me, more athletic than me, or more stronger than me, or who has my mindset besides Jon Jones, of course. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I don't know what they plan on doing, but I just know like whoever they put in my way they're getting wrecked. And that's just how I'm coming.
Absolutely, man.
And humbly, of course, in a humble way, of course.
No.
I don't want to sound like I'm. Yeah.
No, and I've never taken you as a guy who kind of comes off, arrogant or cocky. So I definitely. I don't
want to do that.
No, absolutely not. But I gotta ask, because the one thing I failed to ask about Jon, with the move up to heavyweight, do you feel like that just pushed you even more and more from working with Jon? Because not that he's in your division now, but because not only is he considered the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, but now he's literally adding 30, 40 pounds to his frame, and he's working with you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it pushes me a lot, because I just know, like, Jon's 33, 34. Like, he's about 7, 8 years older than me. Like, I just know, like, the longer I've only been in this fight game for 2 years. By the time I'm like 4 years in, I don't even know my potential yet. I just know like I just gotta get better. I gotta fight higher competition. You know what I mean? When I get to I just feel like in my head, like there's gonna be a time where like people are they're gonna wanna fight me. They're gonna wanna have to fight me. They're gonna have to fight me. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to take Brian Bader's head off because like a lot of people think they can beat him. But like I look at like Francis Ngannou, he motivates me the most. I feel like we're cut from the same cloth. Like everything just comes like effortless to him. You know what I mean? And I like that. You know what I mean? That's fight one day, Francis Ngannou.
Well, you could sign me up
but
for
like
that.
I said, I gotta keep proving myself. I know that. So I just like I said, like I don't want to talk too much shit, but like I said, I gotta keep proving myself, and that's it. The more fights I get, the more people are gonna know.
At the end of the day, I think, you know, as long as the performances continue the way they have early on, man, I think you can pretty much say whatever you want. You're not going to get any arguments from me, and you're not going to hear me calling you arrogant because I like my life. I don't want to piss off Davion Franklin, so I'm good where I'm at. But, you know, with all this being said, man, so what are the plans after? Because like I said, I hope I'm in the building for Bellator 259, but moving forward for yourself, what should I and everyone else expect for the rest of this year?
Dominance. That's it, man. Just dominate. Like that, I live by that. Like I just feel like my mission isn't just to compete. My mission is just to dominate. And I know it didn't look effortless my last fight, but going forward and knowing what I know now that I didn't know then, like the patience and the calmness, the cerebralness, everything has to look effortless, you know? And I think that was my biggest thing my last fight. I rushed everything. Like I wanted so bad to put that guy away in the first round that I abandoned like technique. I abandoned like my mind. I didn't even think about what I did. The first time I took Raz Hilton down in my last fight, it was kill, 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 punch, punch, punch. It wasn't like secure position, pick my shots. It wasn't that, you know what I mean? So that's like the difference going forward.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I can't wait to see it. Hopefully, I'm like I continue to say, hopefully I'm there and I can see it live in person. I know it's been a while and can't wait to see you back inside the Bellator cage, no matter what. Davion Franklin, all the best. And like I said, Bellator 259 taking on Tyler King. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.